Hello class, I welcome you all, and today we shall continue scene third of act 1. You know very well that we have already had one lecture, and if you have missed it, kindly go to the playlist, search it out and watch. I will very quickly revise that what we did in the previous lecture. We know that how Bassanio comes across Shylock and he demands for 3000 ducats, and after that Shylock, in response to Bassanio, what he wants to do, that he wants to hear from Antonio that whether he would happily stand as a surety or not, and then Bassanio invites him for a dinner. It makes Shylock extremely infurious, and he loses his temperament. We also discussed the concept of prophet of Nazareth. You can watch it in the previous video. Now, what happens after that? That meanwhile, Shylock and Bassanio were discussing. Antonio was on his way to reach them, and now Antonio comes. This is the very first point or first place where we have the encounter of antagonist and protagonist. The audience witnesses in this play for the very first time Antonio meeting Shylock, or Shylock and Antonio together. Now, what happens? We know very well that Shylock hates Antonio simply because of two reasons. Reason number one, that Antonio is a Christian, and Shylock, being a hardcore Jew, he hates Antonio. And reason number two, that Antonio is a kind person, he is a benevolent man, and he helps the needy people by extending a helping hand. And how does it cost Shylock? Because those people who are helped with money by Antonio, they refuse to take loan from Shylock, and Shylock loses almost the kind of interest that he could have made if Antonio had not helped those people. So these are the two prime reasons why Shylock hates Antonio. Here, I would also like to explain you the concept of aside. In a play, it is not new. ये आपको बहुत बार बार मिलेगा, अक्सर आपको मिलेगा. Whenever you find this term aside bracketed before the beginning of a speech, that means that now the speaker is only audible to the audience, or the speaker is not audible to the other characters present on the stage. अगर आपने कोई डेली सोप देखा हो, सीरियल देखा हो, तो स्पेशली कैरेक्टर्स हु प्ले अ नेगेटिव रोल, वो कुछ कहते हैं अपने मन में जो आप सुन पाते हैं, लेकिन उसी स्क्रीन पे बाकी लोग उसे नहीं सुन पाते हैं. ये एग्जैक्टली वैसा ही है. असाइड मीन्स समथिंग that the speaker says is only audible to the audience and not to the actors or characters present on the stage. Now, the upcoming speech of Shylock is an example of it. I will read the speech, and I would suggest you also open your textbooks so that you may understand. The speech of Shylock. How like a fawning publican he looks, I hate him, for he is a Christian, but more for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. Shylock, he clears his intentions, and he says that look, how disgusting the man looks. The man is Antonio. It is the deep-rooted hatred of Shylock against Antonio that makes him abuse him. He says that the man is very disgusting, and I hate him because of two reasons. First and foremost, he is a Christian, and second, due to Christianity or owing or following the principles of Christianity, tenets of Christianity, he lends his money to the needy people without any kind of interest. And it turns out like this, that we, the money lenders, are forced to cut down the rate of interest. He further goes on to say that I am only waiting for an opportunity when I could get an opportunity to take revenge. And once I get that, I will feed fat to the ancient grudge. That means I will leave no stone unturned to teach Antonio a lesson. These are the things which are only audible to the audience and not to the characters who are present on stage. And after that, Shylock also says that he abuses me. That means Antonio. Antonio abuses me, he criticizes me at the place where we have merchants congregation. He is talking about Rialto, the Venetian stock exchange. And at the end of his speech, he swears in the name of his tribe and community by saying that if I forgive him, let my community go to hell. In other words, he swears in the name of his religion and says that I will never ever forgive Antonio. Now Antonio comes, and when Antonio comes, Bassanio pushes Shylock because he was almost absorbed in his thoughts, and he questions that Shylock, are you here? Means, where are you lost? And Shylock says, I am simply calculating the present store. That means how much I can offer you. And if I am correct, if my memory serves me right, I think there would be little amount less to 3000 ducats, but that won't be a difficulty because I would consult my friend Tubal, who's a Hebrew. Hebrew is another expression to mention a Jew, and both of us shall furnish your needs. But tell me again, you want it for 3 months? And Antonio says that yes, my friend wants 3000 ducats and for 3 months. And after that, Antonio wants to know that whether Shylock has been explained everything or not. And then Antonio remarks that though I never ever do I take money on interest or do I lend money on interest. That means it's not my principle to either lending or borrowing money on interest, but just because of my friend's urgent need, I am compelled to break my own principles. And Shylock wants a clarification now, that why does Antonio believe that he does not believe in either taking or giving interest. In the next video, we shall talk about very important thing where we have biblical references of Uncle Laban, Jacob, Rebecca and others. Thank you very much.